iHeart Podcasts.
Hear more KIIS podcast playlists and listen live on the free iHeart app.
Don't you know that you're toxic?
Kevin, Federline got the new memoir out. You thought you knew. It's out now. A lot of stuff that, by looking and observing Brittany and Kevin's relationship, and they've got two great kids. Those boys have grown up. They're men now. And Kevin's done the big tell-all book, and he's done it at the right time. I, myself, being a money-hungry snake, would have done it all on day 2 after I left.
Yeah.
But the kids probably came first. Kevin's a good dad. We've known that from just the paparazzi pictures alone. You can tell this guy's taken himself out of the spotlight, raised his kids. They're grown men now. And now, finally, he's telling his side of the story, which you've got to respect. I feel... Because don't you think everyone else would have just sold it on day 2, Jackie?
Yeah, they would have, yeah.
Kevin's on Zoom. God knows where he is. Kevin, you look like you're living in Hawaii. Are you in Hawaii?
I am, yes. I moved a couple of years ago to Hawaii. How you guys doing?
What a great spot. Look at you all camped up out there on the balcony. Beautiful background. How's life, bro? You don't look like you've aged since we last spoke to you, by the way.
You haven't changed at all.
Oh, thank you. You guys are too kind. I feel like a 60-year-old man, you know. Raising 6 kids will wear on you, that's for sure.
Yeah, you really became a professional dad. So you've got 2 of the kids with Brittany, and you've added to your family since then, and you just seem like a decent fella. I've got to admit, when you and Britt first got together, I was like, oh, she's banging the dancing guy, and we all know what the dancing guys were like. You guys are all banging each other. You're hot. You can move. You had all those moves. You had the abs. You had all the good clothes. I was the type of guy who was jealous of your type of guy when I was younger, but you've turned into I was all wrong about you. I just feel you're way nicer than people ever gave you credit for.
I appreciate that, man. Those are really kind words. I don't know about the banging each other part, but...
you wouldn't be not banging blokes, but other dancers. You've got to have banged a couple of dancers.
So, Kevin, I asked Kevin, what made you wait to release this memoir?
Well, you know, I wanted to wait. I knew I had to raise all of my kids outside of the spotlight, especially the ones that are affected by the whole situation. And, you know, I wanted to make sure that they were old enough to get behind what I needed to do for us as a family and myself and, you know, the whole situation really. So, I mean, that's why I took my time. And I also, by doing that, it gave me a chance to grow, get a little bit more wiser in the whole situation and get a better perspective on all of it.
Can I ask, did you share any of it with Brittany beforehand, and have you heard from her since, if not?
No, I haven't. Unfortunately, we haven't talked in years, and no, I didn't call her about the book.
Yeah,
so
fair enough.
What do you like? Because I think in the book you talk about how you were always concerned about her welfare. And that someone needs to kind of step in and look after her. And I think for us, the public, we watch her on Instagram and we see these kind of posts that seem to not make sense. What is it that we're confused about? What is it that's actually going on with Brittany?
Right. Well, I mean, look, the situation is bad, and I don't really want to dive into her privacy, but I felt like I needed to tell the stories that have happened and come forward and tell the truth and just really ring the alarm and try to get some support for my sons and the people that care about her, because I'm actually terrified that something bad is going to happen if nobody steps in.
I got that. And I know that you haven't been in her life, but you've connected through the children. Your main concern is you don't want something horrible to happen, because no one's really doing anything or helping, or she doesn't really have the support. And then your children, the kids you love, that's their mother. And regardless of the fact there's no relationship with you and her anymore, you've moved on, you're happy, they are going to be brokenhearted if anything does happen. I can understand the terror there. That's got to be very hard. And then the public sort of made that conservatorship go away.
Yeah, did we do the wrong thing there by the Free Britney thing?
I mean, I don't, you know, I think that stepping up and showing that people care is important, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, what it caused in I don't think it benefited her.
No, I
At all,
agree.
right?
Yeah.
I don't think it benefits my sons. I don't, because, you know, the finger pointing towards the people that actually love her is really caused the situation to become what it is right now. And it's like nobody knows how to get her help.
It's
Yeah.
a volatile situation.
Yeah.
I did
It really
notice. I did notice a particularly exciting part of the memoir, where, and you and I would have handled this situation very differently. You've opened the door, and there's Brittany with another woman. Now, you've not enjoyed that, where I would have gone straight in with trying to angle myself in on that. But to you, that was a shock. Were you like, what the hell's going on here? She's having sex with a woman.
Right. Well, and I can't fault you for that, right? Because I am a man and I totally understand where you're going with that. But for me, you know, I literally had just left my child and my pregnant girlfriend for a relationship that I thought was going to be everything, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I found myself in this relationship with Brittany and I completely uprooted my life to come to a point of trying to figure out what this was, right?
Yeah.
And in that moment, you know, had things been different, sure, maybe I would have gone your route. But for me, it wasn't. It was about the connection that I had and what I knew that me and Brittany were sharing together and what we were building on. And I didn't want to set the precedent of, you know, bringing outside people into that relationship. That wasn't where I was. And I mean,
Yeah.
if that, you know, I even said it in my book, you know, if that's what she was looking for, then that was fine, but I wasn't going to be a part of it. You
Yeah.
know, I didn't leave one relationship to jump into one where it involved a bunch.
I didn't realise that she was also into chicks. That's been kept a very quiet. I think most chicks are sort of into chicks. Jackie,
It's
you've
an
been hooked up with
experiment. Yeah.
you hooked up with a chick, Jackie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't
How often?
mean just
More than
once.
once?
Yeah, just
More than
once. But
The full
you know,
deal though, or just like a little bit of kissing?
But I've had kissing with other girls, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
right.
don't
So,
know.
see, we're not
We
like-
just-
not all
we're a
blokes-
bit flippant with it, you know.
Yeah,
we
not
have
all
a few
blokes are like
champagnes
that.
and we'll have a pash.
even
Well,
when
I'm like that, you know, it's nothing wrong with it. That's why
fabulous.
people kind of like hear that and they're like, oh my gosh, she cheated and
Yeah.
all of these things. It's like,
Yeah,
it's not about that. You know, I explained and I put this in my book for a reason to show people that not only, yes, was it a shock to me, but really what it did to our relationship was it allowed us to grow into what we became. You know, we fell deeply in love with each other from that moment on. You know, she saw where I stood and knew in those moments where I was willing to drop everything and leave that I truly cared about her, not anything
Yeah,
else.
you weren't
Yeah.
just there for the Yahoo. Now,
What about
when
when you got married to Brittany? And when we read her memoir, we sort of got the sense that she never really got over Justin Timberlake. And then I think the night before you got married, she reached out to Justin. Is that right?
did she?
Yeah.
I
talk
would have
about
been
that.
spewing at that, bro.
Did she just tell you,
man.
like, I'm going to... What happened there?
No, well, I mean, I saw her, you know, this whole thing is detailed pretty well in the book, right? Book is out now, by the way. So, I
Yes,
mean,
I know the
anybody
book.
that
I've got the
wants to
book, but I have
read-
not. I haven't thumbed through it yet. But yeah,
Oh,
but
man.
everyone's
It-
going to get this book. You trust me.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit more, and then everyone will promise to go and buy it.
Yeah.
So what happened
Yeah,
there?
so she was outside. We were staying at the Fairmont in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
She was outside on the phone crying, and this is the night before we're supposed to get married, right? And I saw that, and I went back inside, and I'm just like, thinking to myself, like maybe she was on the phone with her mom, you know, discussing
Yeah.
things. And when she got back in, I asked her if everything was okay. And that's when she was like, yes. She was like, I go, you know, I don't know if I asked her, who are you talking to or not, but she came forward and was honest and said, I was talking to Justin. And, you know, that kind of hit me, whereas like, wow. And, you know, I told her, I was like, look, if you're having second thoughts about this, we don't have to do this, because marriage was never something that it wasn't like I was wanting to jump into marriage right away. I was happy giving that
Yeah.
5-year plan and doing the things that you normally do, get to know each other for a long time before you do it, right?
Yeah.
But she assured me that, she was just trying to close a chapter of her life before starting a new one. And I knew how she felt about me. I mean, we were madly in love with each other at the time. So, I kind of took it with a grain of salt that it happened, and we moved forward.
Hey, that first night you didn't she just grab you by the hand and drag you into the bedroom? Was that a shock? Because she always, everyone's got that in them, right? But the Britney that was portrayed to the rest of us, of course she's a young, successful woman with her own desires, but they gave her that squeaky clean image. Were you a bit flabbergasted when she decided, I'm going to thrash this bloke, and dragged you into the bedroom?
You know what? I wasn't shocked because of how intense the night was from the beginning.
Right.
I mean, it was a very, very intense, from the time we were at the club to the time I sat down and we started talking. Her taking me to the hotel. I was like, okay, this is happening. I mean, we were in it, both of us.
Wow,
Yeah,
sounds like
yeah.
it was an intense relationship.
They're the best, aren't they? Those ones,
Yeah,
those
when you
intense
just
relationships.
can't, get
That
enough.
you love intense, you fight intense, the breakups. If it starts intense, it's all intense, the whole lot, right?
Yeah, it really was. It really was.
Who did you end up with then, Kevin? Are you married with more children now?
Yes, so I'm married to an incredible woman, Victoria Prince.
Yeah.
I actually, whenever I went out there in 2000, gosh, it's been almost 12 or 13
12,
years.
yeah, long time.
Oh, man, crazy. I went out there to shoot a show, and I had Victoria with me. I talk about it in the book as well, right? Like, I found out from my agent the day that my daughter was born, my agent called me and said, I have a gig for you in Oz. And I was like, okay. And I go up, I talk about this in my book, and I look at my wife right there after she's given birth. And I'm like, we're moving to Australia in 3 months.
She would have just said, yeah, whatever.
And life's
Wow.
good now. Like it must be.
Yeah,
it
man.
must stir up a bit though. Like you're getting talked about so much. I guess that's a nice thing about being in Hawaii. Feels like you're removed from it all, but it's a little apprehensive when you release a tell-all memoir like this.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, all of the attention, it's a lot. Obviously, I'm lucky I've been through it before, so I kind of know what to expect. I just hope that it doesn't trickle down to my children. That's
Yeah.
really what I worry about. And, all these experiences that I've went through this whole time, it's like from a young kid chasing, the entertainment industry through dance and all of these things that I thought that I wanted and achieving my dreams. And it's like God sitting there like, okay, this is what you think you want. I'm going to give it to you 100 times over and show you exactly what you're asking for. And 20 years later, I realize now that God has shown me exactly what I don't want.
Yeah.
Turn and run from Hollywood every chance that I get.
Yeah, good on
Yeah,
you.
it's not until recently we've realised that Hollywood's full of predators, pedophiles, liars,
Yeah,
con artists,
pretty ugly.
thieves. It's a real cesspool of the world's biggest cock breaths all in the one city. Have you realised? They're not all there for the right reasons. There's a lot of bad types in there, right?
Right. Well, I mean, that's what happens when you dive into ego, right? It's like once your ego gets ahead of you, you think you're invincible.
Mm-hmm.
The book's going to be a huge success. You thought you knew. Kevin Federline's new memoir. It's out right now. All good bookstores, even the shit bookstores have got it. You can get it online. You can get it anywhere. Kevin, great work.
Yeah.
I love that you're happy. What was it first like when you first saw Britney nude? Was he like,
Hey,
holy shit, bro.
No way, buddy. No way.
I'll talk to you after. I'll give you a call. Kevin Federline,
All
thanks
right.
for coming on, bro. Enjoy. He's over there in Hawaii. He's living life. He's a great father. Respect to you, my friend, and the family. Love to everyone. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Thank you guys so
We'll
much.
see you again.
Okay, bye.
Take care.
Y'all been great. Thank you so much.
Kyle and Jackie O.